Hello, children. Did you eat your vegetables today? Tonight's wholesome and morally rich story is called Barbercockblock. Once upon a time, in the magical, faraway land of San Diego, a talented young bass singer named Andrew was sitting with three of his friends in a downtown delicatessen known as, appropriately enough, the City Deli. The four were a very promising new barbershop quartet, and after a productive rehearsal, had dropped in to have dinner and discuss ideas for their group's name. "Foursome," suggested one. "Using the number 4 in a quartet name is a pretty popular convention," he explained. "Yeah," conceded another, "but that sounds like our harmonies are a bit too close, if you know what I mean." "How about foreplay?" offered Andrew with a bit too much enthusiasm. "Or 4G," he exclaimed, and started to giggle like a hyena who just sucked down an entire tank of nitrous oxide. "Or wait, even better, 4gasm!" After their late evening meal had been devoured, Andrew and his buddies paid their separate checks and wandered out to the parking lot to sing. Because there's nothing better after 3 hours of larynx-busting rehearsal than standing outside in the cold and singing until your voice is raw. As the hour approached 1 a.m., Andrew and his friends were still going strong, their harmonies ringing loud and true. During a particularly screaming tag, Andrew glanced up at the buildings surrounding them. "Wait a minute," he thought. "Are those apartments? Like the kind that people live in and are likely trying to sleep in?" The quartet finished the song, its final chord echoing into the night, when suddenly a window on the 3rd floor of one of the buildings flew open, and an irate woman stuck her head out. She looked at them and screamed, "We're trying to have sex and you're ruining it!" And with that statement of fact, she ducked back inside and slammed the window behind her. The four singers stood silent in the parking lot, staring up at the empty window with guilty looks plastered across their faces. Andrew tried rationalizing that hearing music during a particularly awesome session of sex should be a good thing. After all, as a ravenous connoisseur of erotic literature, he knew that when it's right, bells ring, birds sing, and there's music in the air. But even he had to admit that when you're making sweet, passionate monkey love to your sweetie, it might be a trifle disconcerting to hear the close harmonies of barbershop. And so, Andrew and his friends decided to call it a night and slunk off to their respective rides. They were embarrassed and felt bad for upsetting some poor woman's nookie. But that early morning cloud did have a silver lining, for inspiration had struck Andrew like an abusive spouse. Long had he and his mates racked their brains for a proper quartet name, and thanks to that morning's incident, Andrew finally had it. Cordus interruptus.